The official CFP bracket is out, and for more, we welcome in the two-time Super Bowl champ Bryant McFadden to help us out. So, B-Mac, I want to start with number 12 Clemson and number 5 Texas. Who do you have in this first round?
Well, first and foremost, Kiana, I believe I have the winning bracket. So, if you guys, I understand this isn't March Madness, but it's kind of football March Madness with this new 12-team format. So, when we look at the first round, Clemson traveling to Austin, right? A very intriguing matchup. The battle of the oranges in terms of team colors. I love Clemson in this spot. Yes, they will be traveling to Austin, but the thing I love about Clemson, when you look at their style of play, they've kind of been in playoff mode over the last 3 or 4 weeks, it's safe to say. You know, room for error at the bare minimum. You look at Cade Klubnik playing pretty good, inspired football, and I love their defense, especially when you look at the Longhorns. At the quarterback position, Quinn Ewers has been struggling, to say the least, and I'm making this assumption, understanding and believing that Quinn Ewers will be the starting quarterback. But if we happen to hear that Arch potentially could be starting for this first round game, I might tend to side the other direction. But right now, give me the Clemson Tigers to win this first round matchup against the Longhorns.
Right now, we're relying on defense opposed to who's playing on offense on the other team. All right, we'll put a pin in that one. Next up, number 8 Ohio State hosting number 9 Tennessee Buckeyes. They're coming off losing to Michigan. Do they bounce back or do they fall flat here again?
Well, for Ryan Day's sake, they better bounce back. You get a home playoff game against a very, very talented team in the Tennessee Volunteers. I like Ohio State in this spot because I do believe the home field advantage would be huge in their efforts in trying to win this ball game. They should be highly motivated as well because, to your point, Kiana, the last time we saw Ohio State on the football field against their arch rival in the Michigan Wolverines, a ultimate letdown in terms of their performance, not to mention for their fan base as well. When you look at this is a team that has a lot of talented players, NFL prospects, playing at home should be to their advantage. Give me the Buckeyes.
All right, let's move on. Penn State facing SMU at Happy Valley. This one is a noon kickoff. I want to get your pick for this one.
Of course, Penn State fans, they feel some type of way knowing that this will be a noon kickoff. But regardless, you should be able to take care of your business against SMU. A very inspiring game in terms of the ACC matchup, the way they fought from behind to make that game competitive. I think Penn State will have too much for SMU. Give me Penn State advancing to the next round.
All right, final first round game. It's a tough draw for Indiana having to face number 7 Notre Dame. How do you see this one going?
A very, very tough draw for Indiana. They're playing against one of the harder teams in college football in the Fighting Irish. You look at the complementary football they play on the offensive end. The Irish have it in terms of the defense on all 3 levels. They do a great job in tackling, and they do not allow splash plays. So I like the Fighting Irish in this spot against the Hoosiers.
All right, beautiful. First round in the books. To the quarterfinals we go. Up first, Arizona State and Clemson. B-Mac, what you like in this one?
A very, very intriguing matchup because for Arizona State to have a first round bye, surprising, not to mention how they're playing the game. I love Arizona State in this spot because of their quarterback. Sam Lovett has been playing really, really good football. You look at how he's been able to be the point guard for their offense, and you cannot forget about Scatterboo. When Scatterboo is running the football, usually good things happen for Arizona State. Give me Arizona State to advance to the semifinals.
Arizona State rolls. Okay, we got a matchup for you with this one, B-Mac. Ohio State and Oregon going back at it again. Okay.
Neutral setting for this matchup. Ohio State facing off against Oregon. Oregon right now, they look like the best team in college football. Balanced everyone on the offensive side. Defensively, very, very opportunistic group. I believe, once again, the Oregon Ducks will beat Ohio State. And when you look at the quarterback matchup, I think that will be the deciding factor. Clearly, Dylan Gabriel is playing some of the best football we've seen with him in a Oregon Ducks uniform. Give me the Ducks to roll to the semifinals.
I like it. Okay, Ashton Jeanty in Boise State facing Penn State. Can the Broncos, though, get past the Nittany Lions?
It's been a Cinderella season for Ashton Jeanty for Boise State. But Cinderella lost her shoe. Ooh. She won't find it.
It ain't coming back.
Give me Penn State to advance against Boise State. I believe the talent in favor of Penn State will be a bit much for Boise State. And granted, this defense will have a tall task in trying to slow down Ashton Jeanty. I believe they will make the necessary plays to be able to slow him down for their offense to get extra possessions. Give me Penn State. Matter of fact, Cinderella did lose a shoe, right?
She lost her shoe.
I want to make sure I had the right Disney character.
You got that. You had that right. And a lot of teams not able to slow down Ashton Jeanty. You say they get it done here. Okay, final quarterfinal matchup, Georgia and Notre Dame. Who knows if Carson Beck's going to be good to go, but who you going with this one?
Regardless for me, if Carson Beck is good to go or if he's not good to go. I like Notre Dame in this spot, and here's why. If you're going to have success against Georgia, defensively for 4 quarters. You better have a mobile quarterback. You better have a quarterback that can make timely plays with his legs or become a +1 in QB design runs. Notre Dame has that guy. And Riley Leonard, he's healthy. He's playing with a lot of confidence. If you look at what Haynes King did against Georgia, right? I don't consider him to be the athlete that Riley Leonard is, but he was mobile enough to be efficient and productive against Georgia's defense. Riley Leonard will pose to be the same type of threat for Georgia. Give me the Fighting Irish to be able to advance to the semifinals.
The mobile quarterback playing a crucial role in this one. Okay, in the semifinals, it's Oregon facing Arizona State. Here's my question to you. Can those Ducks stay perfect?
You better believe it. When you look at this matchup, this used to be a reoccurring matchup in the Pac-12, right? Now, when you look at where we see Oregon being in the Big Ten and, of course, Arizona State in the Big 12, they find a way to face off once again. Give me the Oregon Ducks. I mean, it's been a great story for Arizona State up until this point. When you talk about being in the semifinals, playing against one of the more talented teams in college football with the most experienced quarterback in Dylan Gabriel, I think that would be a bit much for Arizona State. Give me the Ducks quack, quack to advance to the championship.
All right, in that other semifinal, Notre Dame going up against Penn State. Who has the edge in this one?
I believe Notre Dame has the edge.
Okay.
Number one, when you look at the coaching, Coach Freeman, James Franklin, I side with Marcus Freeman. And I understand when you look at Penn State, this is a team, if they can get to this point, you better believe the fans are fired up and they believe they have an opportunity. But when you look at playing against high-level talent, James Franklin oftentimes does not put forth his best coaching effort, and I think that would be an issue as well when you look at Notre Dame. Their defense has been flying around. They can run the football. I like what I'm seeing from Riley Leonard. Give me the Fighting Irish to be able to advance to the championship.
So there we have it, the picture painted. So now we have the national title game. BMAC has number 7 Notre Dame facing number 1 Oregon. So who's taking home the natty then?
Well, for me, when you look at the Oregon Ducks, this is a spot they were supposed to be in terms of predictions, right? I believe they find a way to get there. I'm taking the Oregon Ducks, and here's why. Quarterback in favor of Oregon. Talent on the offensive side in terms of skill positional players in favor of the Ducks. Being very, very opportunistic in the back end in favor of the Ducks. And their style of play in terms of the physical nature in the trenches, I think that would be a bit much for Notre Dame, not to mention the speed. The speed, when you look at Oregon, they're a team that's built the right way. They're built like a Big Ten team, but they have the speed like an SEC team. I think that would be a bit much for Notre Dame. And this is the ideal matchup when you talk about the tradition and the prestige that Notre Dame has, their fan base, playing against the up-and-coming team that has really taken college football by storm over the last few years. This is something that I think we all would love to see if you don't have a dog in the race. But I'm putting all of my chips in the middle of the table, and I'm going with the quack, quack.
BMAC staying with Oregon, staying perfect. Your national champions of this 2024-2025 season. It's only a couple more weeks, and we'll find out. BMAC, thanks.
Yes, sir.